Listen to me closely, because I am about to tear apart the illusion that keeps you sleeping in the gutter while you dream of the stars. You are standing on the precipice of another rotation around the sun, and I can already smell the stench of your failure from here. It smells like cheap champagne, store-bought appetizers, and the rotting carcass of the promises you made to yourself exactly 365 days ago. Look at where you are right now. Look at the screen. Look at your bank account. Look at your body. Now close your eyes and remember the countdown from last year. 10, 9, 8. You were screaming the numbers, weren't you? You were surrounded by other rats, all clinking glasses, all possessed by this delusional euphoria, believing that when the clock struck 12,
a magical portal would open and wash away a lifetime of mediocrity. 7, 6, 5. You felt that rush of cheap dopamine hitting your brain, that synthetic hope that the Matrix injects into your veins to keep you docile. 4, 3, 2. A magical portal would open and wash away a lifetime of mediocrity. 7, 6, 5. You felt that rush of cheap dopamine hitting your brain, that synthetic hope that the Matrix injects into your veins to keep you docile. 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. And what happened? Nothing. Absolutely nothing changed. The physics of the universe remained the same. Gravity didn't shift. The compound interest on your credit card debt didn't pause to applaud your optimism. You woke up the next day with a hangover, a lighter wallet, and the exact same pathetic habits that ruined the previous year. And here you are again, getting ready to do the exact same thing, expecting a different result. That is the definition of insanity, but in your case, it is just the definition of being a rat.
You are trapped in a loop, a psychological prison designed by the architects of the modern slavery system to strip mine your potential and convert it into profit for the shareholders of the reality you inhabit. You think 2026 is going to be your year. Let me be the cold bucket of ice water you desperately need. 2026 will be a carbon copy of 2025, which was a Xerox of 2024, unless you surgically remove the cancer of New Year's hope from your brain right now. The biggest mistake you are making, the error that guarantees your seat in the back of the bus for eternity, is believing that the calendar has any power over your destiny. You are waiting for permission. You are waiting for a starting gun that never fires.
You treat January 1st like it is a savior, but it is just a Tuesday, or a Wednesday, or whatever arbitrary name we gave the day to organize the labor of the herd. The system loves this. The system adores your New Year's resolutions. Why? Because the entire economy of the rat race is built on the cycle of aspiration followed by failure. Think about the gym industry. This is the clearest example of the financial slaughter cattle being led to the pen. The business model of big box gyms is predicated on the mathematical certainty that you will sign up in January and stop showing up by February the 14th. They overbook their capacity by 6,000%. If every rat who paid for a membership actually showed up on a Monday morning in January,
the building would collapse under the weight of its own hypocrisy. They are banking on your weakness. They are shorting your discipline. They are betting against you, and they win every single time. You buy the new sneakers, the matching outfit, the protein powder that tastes like chalk and regret, and you feel good. You haven't lifted a single weight. You haven't sweat a single drop, but you feel accomplished because you spent money. That is the trap of the premium poor. You confuse consumption with production. You think buying the tools of success is the same as building the house of success. It is not. It is just you putting on a costume. You are role-playing as a successful person, while your actual life burns to the ground behind the scenes.
Let's dig deeper into this pathology, because if I don't eviscerate this delusion, you will never be free. You operate on event time. You live for the weekend, for the holiday, for the birthday, for the new year. You are constantly deferring your life to a future date. I will start the diet on Monday. I will start the business in January. I will fix my finances after the holidays. Do you understand the arrogance of that thought process? You are assuming you have time. You are negotiating with death. You are telling the universe that your mediocre existence is so important that time should pause until you are emotionally ready to stop eating garbage and scrolling through social media for 6 hours a day. The elite, the true sovereigns of this world,
The ones who own the banks you owe money to, they do not operate on event time. They operate on process time. They do not wait for January 1st. If they see an opportunity or a flaw on a Tuesday afternoon in October, they execute immediately. While you are planning your Halloween costume, they are acquiring assets. While you are arguing about politics at Thanksgiving, they are optimizing their tax structures. While you are getting drunk on New Year's Eve, they are sober, reviewing their fourth quarter performance and finalizing the acquisition of your attention span for the next 12 months. You are a junkie for the feeling of beginning, but you have no tolerance for the pain of enduring. The Matrix knows this. That is why everything is a subscription now.
that is why they sell you the dream in low monthly installments. They know you will subscribe to the app, use it for 3 days, and then forget to cancel it for 3 years. That is the tax on your stupidity. That is the price of your lack of mental sovereignty. You are bleeding out. $5 here, $20 there, $50 for a streaming service you don't watch, $100 for a gym you don't visit. You are being drained dry by 1,000 tiny cuts, and you don't even feel it because you are numb from the cheap dopamine of planning your future. You sit there with your journal, writing down goals. I want to make $100,000. I want 6-pack abs. I want to travel to Bali. Those aren't goals.
Those are wishes from a child writing to Santa Claus. A goal without a ruthless, painful, boring execution plan is just a hallucination, and you are hallucinating your way into poverty. Let's do some napkin math, and I warn you, this is going to hurt. Let's talk about the cost of your New Year's ritual. Let's say you spend $500 on the celebration itself, the outfit, the ticket to the club, the drinks, the rideshare. Then another $500 on the New Year, New Me gear, the planners, the memberships, the organic food you'll throw away when it rots. That is $1,000. Now let's look at the opportunity cost. You spend the first 2 weeks of January in a planning phase, which is just procrastination in a tuxedo. You spend the last 2 weeks of December in a winding down phase because, hey, the year is almost over, right? Why start now? That is 1 full month of productivity flushed down the toilet. 1/12 of your year, 8.3% of your life. If you earned $50,000 a year, you just torched over $4,000 of potential value, not counting the compounding effect of that lost time. If you invested that time and money into a skill, into a side hustle, into an index fund, over 10 years, we are talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. But no, you prefer the party. You prefer the illusion. You prefer to be a premium poor, looking rich for one night while your net worth is a negative number.
And let us talk about the premium poor phenomenon during the holidays, because it is the most grotesque display of financial illiteracy I have ever witnessed. I see you. I see you buying gifts you cannot afford for people you do not even like to impress relatives who talk behind your back. You swipe that plastic card, engaging in toxic leverage paying 25% interest to buy a piece of electronic junk that will be obsolete in 6 months. You are literally selling your future freedom to buy a moment of validation in the present. You are trading days of your life, actual irreplaceable hours of your existence, for plastic crap. You are wearing a chain of gold, but it is still a chain.
You drive a leased car to a job you hate to pay for the credit card bill that funded the Christmas gifts that are now gathering dust in a closet. You are a hamster on a wheel, running faster and faster, sweating, panting, exhausted, and you haven't moved an inch. In fact, you are moving backward because inflation is eating your purchasing power faster than you can beg for a raise. The system relies on you being asleep. It relies on you being reactive, not proactive. When you wait for the new year to change, you are being reactive to the calendar. You are outsourcing your willpower to a date, and when that date passes and the excitement fades, usually by January 17th, statistically the day most resolutions die, you have nothing left, no fuel, no discipline, just the cold, hard reality of your own weakness. And what do? You shame yourself for a week. Then you go back to the comfort of the herd. You go back to the dopamine of Netflix, the sugar rush of processed food, the numbing agent of alcohol. You tell yourself, it's okay, I'll try again next year. Or, I'll start before summer. You negotiate a truce with your own mediocrity. You sign a peace treaty with the rat inside you. And that is why you lose. That is why 2026 will be exactly like 2025. Because you are soft. Because you are addicted to the fantasy of change, rather than the brutality of change. Change is violent. Real change is a destruction of the old self. It is not a festive occasion. It does not require confetti. It requires a funeral. You have to kill the version of you that is lazy, the version of you that is fearful, the version of you that seeks approval from the herd. You have to wake up on a Tuesday in November and say, this ends today, not January 1st. Today, right now. The CEO of ROTS does not make resolutions. I make decrees. I make pacts with my own soul that are non-negotiable. If I decide to change a metric in my business or my body, it happens immediately. I do not wait for the ball to drop in Times Square. I drop the hammer on my excuses instantly. The difference between the elite and the slave is the lag time between the decision and the action. For you, the lag time is months, years, sometimes a lifetime. For the sovereign mind, the lag time is 0. You want to know the secret? You want the red pill that dissolves the matrix? Here it is. Treat the end of the year like a war zone, not a vacation. While the rest of the world is slowing down, getting fat, and getting drunk, you speed up. We call this the 5th quarter. While the sheep are sleeping, the wolves are eating. Imagine if you spent the last 6 weeks of the year working twice as hard as you did all year. Imagine if you entered January 1st already running at full speed, already usually 30 pounds lighter, already $10,000 richer, already having read the books the other rats are just planning to buy. You would be invisible to them. You would be moving at a velocity they cannot comprehend. They are starting from 0. You are starting from milestone 10. That is how you win. You win by doing what the herd refuses to do. You win by embracing the boredom of consistency while they chase the sparkle of novelty. I want you to look at your credit score, not as a number, but as a leash. The system gamified your debt. They gave you a score to make you proud of how well you can be a slave. Oh, look, I have an 800 score. I can borrow more money to buy a bigger cage. Who cares? The goal is not to have a good credit score. The goal is not to need credit. The goal is to own the bank, not be the bank's favorite pet. But you are too busy planning your New Year's outfit to understand the architecture of your own imprisonment. You are worried about the color of the tablecloth while the house is on fire.
You are rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic and calling it self-improvement. So here is the challenge. Here is the exit from the labyrinth. Forget January 1st. It does not exist. It is a fairy tale for adults who are afraid of the dark. Your year starts now, this second. You are going to adopt a philosophy of radical immediacy. If you want to get in shape, you do 10 push-ups right now while listening to this. Not later, now. If you want to fix your finances, you open your banking app and cancel 3 subscriptions right now. If you want to learn a skill, you buy the book or the course and study for an hour tonight instead of watching the game. You break the pattern of waiting. You shatter the illusion of someday. I want you to enter a state of deep, aggressive focus.
I want you to become a ghost to the people who drag you down. Say no to the parties. Say no to the expensive dinners where everyone complains about their jobs. Say no to the gift exchange where you trade trash for trash. Save your money. Save your time. Save your mental energy. Use the end of the year to build the foundation for the skyscraper you want to be, while everyone else is digging a hole. This is about mental sovereignty. It is about reclaiming the ownership of your timeline. It is about looking the system in the eye and saying, you cannot manipulate me with a calendar. If you are ready to stop being a rat and start being the architect of your reality, if you are ready to kill the hope and replace it with strategy, then I want you to leave a comment below.
But not just any comment. I want to see who the real ones are. I want to see who has the stomach for the truth. Comment the phrase, "Kill the hope." Do not add emojis. Do not add exclamation points. Just those 3 words. Kill the hope. Because hope is for the helpless. Strategy is for the sovereign. Kill the hope that next year will be better by magic, and accept the reality that it will only be better by force. Make the pact. Kill the rat inside you. Start your year today, and never, ever let me catch you waiting for a countdown again. Now, get to work.